Hello friends, Elise Anamkara here for Anamkara Astrology. Today is December 20th, 2022, and Jupiter has just moved from the last sign of Pisces into Aries. Now, Jupiter went into Aries on May 10th, 2022. At that time, we may have all of a sudden experienced a real lust for life, a real newly, unleashed zeal and feeling of definiteness, even though it also took place right as Mercury went retrograde on May 10th, 2022. So there could have been some confusion as to what that would be, but good things that life is cyclic, as are the orbits of these planets around the sun. And so we are getting a chance to re-explore that territory, but with a new perspective. So Jupiter did move into Aries on May 10th, 2022. And then it actually went retrograde on July 28th, 2022. It re-entered the sign of Pisces on October 28th, 2022, and Jupiter finally went direct at the end of November, I believe November 23rd, 2022, and now today on December 10th, just before the sun moves into Capricorn, Jupiter is moving into Aries once again, where it will continue forward in the sign of Aries. We are finally out of this Jupiter Pisces situation, which is really expanding our mystical feelings, downloads, maybe even our artistic, maybe even our hypnotic and illusory and delusionary feelings. So definitely a different experience moving into this cardinal fire sign of Aries, which is also, the first sign of the zodiac. And as Jupiter was hanging out at this last degree of Pisces, known as the anaretic degree for so long, there was both a feeling of uncertainty, but a certainty that something else is about to take place and transpire. That is the degree in which we're embodying the sign of Pisces and all of its wavy graviness and its diffusion of actuality and of physical 3D consciousness. But that anaretic degree is also that last gasp. I always talk about the anaretic degree being like that last gasp of life. So it might be fully embodying the lessons of the sign as were experienced and absorbed over, the previous 29 degrees. But in that last gasp of it, it feels its surrender to the embodiment of that sign as it prepares to surrender itself to its transition into the next sign. So wherever 0 to 1 degrees of Aries is on your chart is where Jupiter is bringing a enormous energy, an enormous focus, and an enormous, it's injecting it with power. It's also bringing it under a microscope, if you will. It's really magnifying the effects of that placement. And so definitely look in your chart as to where that first degree of Aries is and notice what you now feel impelled to actualize, and all of a sudden there is a certain kind of certainty that just comes with an inherent knowingness, an inherent level of beingness and embodiment of, and a new step out of this kind of feeling of whatever Pisces does to you. Pisces does a lot of stuff to me, but then again, I also have Pisces intercepted in most house systems on my chart. So, for me, definitely an increase in psychic sensitivity, an increased sense of the experiences of suffering and like martyrdom, the connection that we all have to each other through spirit, which also can also be associated with the kind of feeling of loss or helplessness on the 3D level as we are fully immersed in our interconnection in relation to all things, and our shared experience and knowledge of the collective consciousness, but in a way that can feel very, I don't know what to do with it, and can kind of feel a little disempowering. Now we're stepping out of that, and if it's in the same house, then that same house that you were previously experiencing a lot of psychic downloads, a lot of kind of like mystical feeling or inspiration, but maybe a kind of diffusion of energy in terms of not knowing what exactly to do with it, but feeling very connected to it. Now we are experiencing a sense of life and of knowingness and this energy to do and to be, and without apology, and with a certain kind of directness and assertiveness that was kind of missing from us. But also you should check out, or kind of go back and see what exactly that was for you when Jupiter moved into Aries on May 10th of this year, to kind of get an idea of what kind of, what you felt empowered to just go forth and do, and that you had the inherent, will and power and kind of fuck the bullshitness to just move forth in that own direction of your own, and how it really informed and infused yourself with a greater sense of self and greater sense of determination. Those are things that you can definitely look at on your chart as to what happened around May 10th of this last year. So I do look forward to interfacing with you on all my social media, anamkara.astrology on Instagram, anamkara astrology on Twitch, Anamkara Astro on Twitter, and of course, if you'd like to book a reading or find out more about my services, you can check that out at anamkaraastrology.com. So experience and enjoy all the love and gifts of Jupiter newly being in Aries. Also be aware that tomorrow, after the sun moves into Capricorn, that we will be having a square between the sun in Capricorn and Jupiter in Aries. So squares always bring a sense of urgency and conflict, and a sense that something has to be done with this energy. And so I'm not saying get ready for some conflict, but today is really the day to feel the energy, optimism, expansion, and positivity of that first degree of Aries as Jupiter moves into it. But then we're going to be squared with some dynamic conflict, a challenge of what exactly we want to do or what exactly is possible and needs action to move forward with this energy consciously on Wednesday, Thursday. So until then, friends, again, I'm Elise Anamkara. Follow me also at Elise Anamkara on all of the things, and I will see you next time. Peace.